Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bulletproof Underwear, episode number 233. Yeah! I am your co-host, Yam Juice.
And I'm your co-host, Flex.
And today, we've got a nice special guest for you, the rock-solid citizen that he is, Florida's finest, none other than Tgizzle. Yeah!
Hello. Hi there. Welcome me. Hey. Hi. Yo.
So, first of all, I have to say that is quite a lovely hat you have there.
Yeah, just a little cheap snapback I wear whenever I don't feel like doing shit with my hair.
You still have your hair,
I can't wear
right?
them snapbacks. I
My what?
keep hurting my neck.
Yeah, you still have your hair, right? You're not going bald or anything, are you?
Not yet. I probably will, though.
Well, I hear that you have to look on your mom's side of the family, like your uncles and her dad and stuff like that.
Yeah, the funny thing is it's on both sides, so either way, like male, like baldness in the males on my dad and my mom's side are pretty common, so.
Ooh, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
Well, enjoy it while you got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hairline's never been too amazing anyways, though. It's kind of like always kind of went back. Never, it's not really receding. It's just always never been like completely straight across my head.
Yeah. Well, I got a secret weapon. If I ever started losing hair, I'd just do this.
You're-
I would just
Young again.
I got the Trump comb over thing down pat, man.
POTUS.
POTUS. So
That's what the hairstyle's called now. POTUS.
the POTUS.
POTUS.
The POTUS. I like that.
So, he had a scalp reduction, I think, like 1990 or something like that, a long time ago. It's like where they take the bald part of your head, they make an incision, and then they make another incision, and then they just basically stretch what's left and stitch it up.
Oh,
So
sounds
they
like
just-
painful.
They just cut the bald part of your scalp out. So
Huh.
Trump has been scalped.
Sounds painful, man.
Yeah, he's also been beheaded. Who did that? What celebrity was that did the whole ad with the cutting his head thing? Remember that? That was
Oh,
like
yeah. That was
couple
Kathy
months
Griffin.
ago.
That was
Kathy Griffin. Yeah. That wasn't smart.
Now, what's funny is I think Melania said, Barron was scared to death when he saw that. If he was really scared to death, he's like, what is he, like 12 or something? Then he's a fucking moron. The kid's a moron. If he thought that was his dad.
Yeah. That's the youngest kid, right?
Yeah. That's the youngest kid.
Yeah, actually not like a month or two ago, there was this little meme with Trump's youngest kid going on where someone was impersonating him on Twitter, and that person impersonating him on Twitter was saying that they're into anime. So basically the whole internet's like, man, Trump's kid's really cool because he likes anime. So people were tweeting this account, and then he was tweeting people back, just basically doing a big practical joke.
So how
Really
many
funny.
followers did he have by the time? they
That
figured
fake
this
account,
out?
oh God, I don't even know. It was a lot though. He had a lot of people tricked for like a week.
Did he have like over 100,000 followers?
I think so. I think he had probably in the hundreds, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I remember
funny.
Ashton Kutcher was the very first celebrity, or the very first person who had 1 million subs, 1 million, followers on Twitter.
Huh.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Because nowadays people have like way more than that.
Yeah, social media is really easy. Not easy, I guess, but it's really easy just to blow up on social media if you have any kind of following whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I think one time Trump tweeted something bragging about all his followers, and Katy Perry responded to him as like, "That's nothing, bitch." Obviously, Katy Perry would have
Yeah.
a lot of followers.
Yeah, I don't actually. Do I even follow the Trump freaking Twitter account just to stay updated? I don't think I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
Well, you don't
I
really
send it-
have
I
to because the
I
news
try to
tells
send
you.
the account things, but it don't let me anymore. So something about the Secret Service and some seal comes up. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, every time he tweets anything controversial, anyways, it shows up somewhere where you'll see it.
Yeah, you hear about it on the news, even if you don't follow him. Well, so what's he been up to lately? In case anyone doesn't know, this is recorded on Tuesday. This is after the weekend that we had the Charlottesville riots and murder, and
Yeah, only one person dead, right?
only one person dead, but a whole bunch of people were injured.
Yeah. Oh no shit! Yeah, people were beating the hell out of each other.
Well, that car is who drove into the crowd.
Oh yeah, there was that. Yeah.
He did some damage.
There was people that didn't die, but they were definitely hurt. I'm sure that some of them got some pretty bad injuries.
Yeah. Such a stupid situation, though.
Well, I do have to say it was a nice car. It's kind of sad to see a Challenger.
It was a nice car.
No, my heart goes out to
Yeah,
the victims. No, I'm not like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel bad for everybody in that community because that's really shit week for them.
Yeah,
But it's just God, it's just I was exhausting to think about all the stuff that's been going on this last almost 2 years, though.
it is. It is.
I mean, shit with that whole situation, though. I mean, obviously, I feel bad because it's just a stupid situation. People got hurt, but man, I almost don't feel bad, and at the same time, just because these are a bunch of grown ass adult people that can't ever be civil.
Well,
just start over a fucking statue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's just over a statue. It's
Obviously not, but yeah, it's just but.
So now this whole alt-right is a thing. This is a thing, man. This is it is like hit the mainstream. This alt-right business is a thing. Like whatever that means, I don't know. I saw a lot of symbolism that looked pretty much like KKK shit to me.
Yeah, but I don't think those people really identify as alt-right. I think alt-right is just a term people either who are centrist or progressive use to kind of group those people in their own little category.
Well, I don't know. If you see a Twitter person and they have a Pepe, as an avatar, they probably call themselves alt-right.
Well,
if they're repping for Kekistan or any of that kind of shit.
I don't know about you, but I don't like Illinois Nazis.
Well, I'm not real fond of any Nazis, but to
But I
be
especially
honest,
don't like Illinois Nazis.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen them on the Blues Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And the Van Frarshaar tried to go after the Blues Brothers. And then in the last seconds of his life, would be totally awkward and uncomfortable when his partner said to him, "I've always loved you."
I got to see the Blues Brothers again. It's been a very long time.
Oh, dude.
But I do know that they were on a mission from God.
Oop.
Hey, Trent, do you ever see the Blues Brothers?
No, but I have seen them referenced in other shows and stuff when I was growing up a few different times. I never got the reference, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an old
they're two
movie.
musicians, though, right? Right?
Yeah. It's like, well, these actually are two guys that used to be on Saturday Night Live. It's John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, they had both been on Saturday Night Live.
And they created the characters as a skit on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, the characters started out as a Saturday Night
so
Live
the Blues
skit.
Brothers is a Saturday Night Live spinoff.
Literally.
Exactly.
So just like Wayne's World.
They turned
Exactly,
it into a movie.
just like Wayne's World. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So it turned into a movie, and
They toured.
it must have been the 80s, right? That movie must be
No,
old.
it was the 70s. Because
The
Belushi
70s?
died in 79.
So that movie is definitely older than you are.
96.
96. Wow.
And I can drink legally, so my boy in 96 is 21 now. That's pretty crazy. Even being that old, it just almost doesn't feel like, man, people my age are already in their early 20s. And oh my God, so many people, because I live in a small rural community, so many people I know who are like a year or two younger than me, a year or two older than me, my same age, babies all over the place. It's crazy how as soon as like you get to the end of high school and right after high school, everybody just starts popping out kids.
Oh, so they're creating babies.
Yeah, even my own younger brother, who just turned 18 this year, has a like 3-month-old.
So you're an uncle.
I've been an uncle. I have an older brother that has a 6-year-old daughter.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Or 7. So
I don't think you should bring anybody into the world unless you can do right by them. So if you're gonna bring them up, in a shitty world and a shitty life, then yeah, you're an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, but for so many people, they really think if they get pregnant, they have no choice but to be stuck with with raising another person for some reason.
Well, as long as you have lakes and a piece of rope and a brick.
Or what I've always said, a mall with tall escalators.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's a terrible accident.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I bumped into you. Oh, you went down the up escalators. Oh God. Oh, it's a Oh no.
Oh no. But see, the problem is, what happens if the little bastard, makes it? Now you got a special needs kid that you got to deal with.
Well, then you got to take her back to the mall. You got to go baby shopping.
Then you got to push the wheelchair over.
Look, man. Oh my God. Look, it makes me. I've thought about it. Like, what if I ever knocked a girl up and I'm not ready, or I'm not even committed to them, or whatever the situation. The point is that I wouldn't want a baby. I've thought about it. Obviously, you can't force someone, a woman who's pregnant to do anything. But man, I'd be begging her.
Yeah.
We're
I'd be begging.
We're at helmet on that soldier when you send him into battle.
Yeah. Well, I have an experience
of that stuff, though.
Good. So I have an experience of that kind. It's like, even if you mostly do anal, sometimes you just want to, it's like, if you're going to do anal, you have to do all anal, just anal. That's it. It's like, otherwise
gotta eat ass with class.
Uncle Yam's anal class for ass.
Fortunately, I was able to reason with the person. What I got to say, the main reason I didn't want to her to go through with it, the main reason is because she was a very particularly unintelligent individual. She was intelligent enough to plow, but she wasn't intelligent enough to be the mother of my child. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But
I don't want no moron kids.
No, I mean, if you're gonna if you have the option, you definitely want to raise your kid with the person that's gonna be best for your kid.
I want a smirk kid like mine.
Well, you got
your
that.
Kid's smirk.
Yeah. So when you do finally have a kid, Giz, are you gonna make sure that the woman has got the characteristics that you think that you would like to have in your offspring?
Well, in my mind, I wouldn't really even consider having a kid with any woman unless I was confident in just them overall as a person. I imagine someone that I'm in love with, I'm willing to commit to have a family with, would be a good mother. It's not something I'd actively be thinking about, but it's something that would happen because the person I would pick would, have those qualities. I'm kind of an old school guy in a lot of ways for the stuff I like in my girls. So. Yeah.
So, are you between girlfriends right now? Or are you seeing somebody?
I'm not seeing anybody right now. Now, not a lot of single girls where I live to begin with. I live in a small town of a community of less than 10,000 people, and most single girls I already know, and I'd rather not fuck with them. There's a lot. My community has a really bad drug problem. It has a really bad STD problem. So it's typically best to not get with a lot of different people around here. It's just honest. So.
Well, you could pull out the old body bag and just full body condom.
Yeah. I mean, I've no friends and family that are more promiscuous than me, and I personally had to, take people I'm really close to the hospital to get shots for STDs, you know, from the kind of shit that gets around my town. Actually, yeah, what's up?
Oh, usually it's just pills, man. What are you talking about? Shots?
What are you talking about? I got a shot when I got the clap.
Yep, that was a clap. I took someone to the hospital and they got a shot like the next day, like as soon as they found out, they got a shot as soon as I took them to the hospital for the clap, right in the butt.
I went to the coach and I went, Coach, what's wrong with my dick? And he's like, oh, Greenie, you got the clap. Here's my go see my doctor. And he gives me this card.
You're like football coach?
Gives me this crumpled up card with this doctor's name on it. And I go see him and the doctor's like smoking and coughing and shit. And he's like, oh, you got the clap, son. Bend over. I'll take care of that for you.
Oh, wow.
So like your PE coach, right?
What's that?
So your PE coach you showed it to?
Yeah. Coach. I showed it to coach.
Wow.
Football coach.
It was your okay.
Now, I've had
PE coach and football coach. Same.
Yeah.
I've had it 3 different times, and all 3 times it was pills.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had it twice, and I got it in the ass both times, man. Maybe I had perverted doctors.
I would always go to the trusty Berkeley Free Clinic they got over there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've had no like UTIs or STDs, but I mean, I've had my fair share of experiences, but not nearly to the point where I've really been worried about STDs though, because I'm not that promiscuous, I guess.
You know who paid for me to go to the clinic when the coach sent me?
Who?
Well, the alumni guys paid for it, of course.
Oh, okay.
Who else? Who else used to buy our beer for us? The alumni.
Now, I think Planned Parenthood will treat STDs, right?
Yeah, if there's any left.
Oh yeah, I was going to say though, if you guys are very interested about reading up about where I live, though, the Washington Post actually made an article about my town, my city, Palatka. Yeah, they actually made a whole article, a whole like over a page long thing about how the community I live in is dying.
Wow. Why did they pick your town?
I don't know why they came here, but they basically did like a survey of not a survey, but like they went around the town, examined it, like see, because recently this year alone we've had 2 of our major retailers leave Palatka. They're examining like the situation with education is really poor here. Most kids don't graduate here. Drug problem is noticeably bad here, and it goes over. It's so interesting to see a third party perspective on this community I've grown up in my whole life, write about it in basically exact detail. It was.
Why don't you move to Miami, dude?
I'll probably be moving. I'm either more than likely this time next year. I'm going to be living probably 1 of 2 places: Jacksonville, Florida, because that's what I've been saving up my money for, or I might actually be moving up to Texas.
Oh, really? We're in Texas.
I got family in Texas actually that have been talking about me living near them for like years now, and I'm getting about ready to do it just because I am getting kind of tired of where I live. I always have been, but lately now because like I've been working the last few years, just not a lot of job opportunities for someone like me that wants to just build up work experience, go from different places, see what I like to do, because that's what I've been doing this whole time. It's just been working different jobs, seeing what I enjoy doing, saving up my money, shit like that. But there's only so many options in a town fucking this small.
Yeah, well, where in Texas are you thinking about living? What part of it?
I have my cousin who grew up where I live. He moved out to Texas with his paternal side of his family when he was like 14, 15, and he's been living there since. And he comes here every summer and visits us, and I always talk to him, we always hang out. But we grew up like brothers, so we're very close. And he actually, ever since he graduated high school, and he's only like a year older than me, he's been doing golf in college and high school. Like he got a scholarship to both of his colleges he's been to for golf, and he's been going to college for free by playing golf.
Wow.
So now he goes to a college in Tyler, Texas.
Oh, Tyler. Okay.
Yeah, a university there. I forgot the name of it. And he golfs for them, and he lives with him and his girlfriend. And they were talking about getting a bigger place. And if I moved out there, they would get a bigger place, and we would split it up, and it'd be easy for me to go out there all the shit. And bigger town, but it's a city. They say there's a lot more opportunities out there for someone like me, things like that. So I've been thinking about it. And then I have my other cousin, who is that cousin's sister. She lives in Houston, and then my aunt, who is the parent of both of them, she lives in San Antonio.
I would say go to San Antonio. San Antonio is a much nicer town.
San
It's a very very nice town. Have you ever been there?
No, I'm trying to go and visit before I decide anything. So that's why I'm trying to actually go there and actually finally go visit Texas for the first time in my whole life. Probably sometime early next summer.
Yeah. Well, if you visit,
Check it out.
If you visit in summer, you won't want to live there.
Well, Florida,
it's hot.
so
It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot here too, though. So heat's not, I mean, it's a different type of heat, but heat is whatever.
Well,
So-
it's like 100-degree kind of heat in Texas.
That's like about that sometimes here too. But but actually, most of my family in Texas say they prefer the Texas heat because it's less humid.
Yeah. Well,
Because we have a lot of humidity in Florida.
don't go anywhere near Houston. It's humid as fuck and it's hot.
Here's a lot of cool shit to do in Houston, though.
Yeah. Well, Houston's a huge city. Houston is the New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Houston is the 4th largest city in the United States. Wow. I bet you didn't
Damn.
think it was in that league, did you?
No, I mean I knew it was pretty big, but but I'd probably end up in Tyler if I moved out there because that'd be the easiest place for me to live because my cousin, who's pretty close to me, like we're basically the same age, we're almost like brothers. He already has like a whole situation set up where it's really easy for him just to because he lives in an apartment complex near his college with his girlfriend. So and they re-up their lease every year. So if I wanted to live out there, just go around sometime when their lease expires and then just get a slightly bigger place in the same apartment complex.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you ever decide you want to live in the Bay Area in California, I would help you any way I could.
I appreciate that, but fucking I hear the Bay Area is expensive as shit.
Oh yeah, it's expensive as shit, but other people do it.
I would only go out there as if I ever got to work for one of the games media companies that are in the Bay Area because there's a fuck ton. What's up?
You want to know what San Francisco minimum wage went up July 1st, just last month. You know what the minimum wage in San Francisco is?
Did it go up to 15?
It's 14.
14, okay.
So $14 is minimum wage in San Francisco.
That's crazy.
So
it's
it's
$8.10 in Florida right now.
Yep. And I'm gonna guess that while the price of food, the price of like a place to live is higher, I'm gonna guess that a Big Mac is probably the same price. I'm gonna guess that like an Xbox is the same price. A tire for your car is gonna be the same price. The only thing you got to worry about is find a place to live.
Right.
And then, like minimum wage is 14. It's like if you're like absolute starting, like, at the very bottom end, if you're like a hotel maid or something, that's 14. It's like if they expect to get anybody decent, they have to pay them more than that.
Right. That's crazy.
So
yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't want to go to that area more than likely for me if I, because like companies like Polygon, IGN, some other ones I can't think of right now, they all are based in there, and I'd love to work for a company like that one day.
Yeah, that's where you got to go where all the opportunity is. There's a reason that it costs a lot to live here.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff goes on in the Bay Area. Because like all my favorite, like some of my favorite internet personalities they all live in your area. So just because they work in media, television, games, shit like that. So a lot of shit happens out that way. So yeah, it's definitely a cool spot. I definitely want to go check out. Well, but all the Rooster Teeth stuff happens in Austin though.
Yeah, Austin's a cool place to live. Yeah, Austin's a cool place. But San Antonio is pretty. It's like
I know I live in Austin.
Austin, Minnesota.
Oh.
Well, it's like one thing that figures into it is like how cool of a place is it? Like the architecture, the natural like looks of it. The civic, structures. Just like San Antonio is a beautiful city. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. San Francisco is a beautiful city. I mean, San Francisco is San Francisco is in the United States is the #1 tourist destination in the United States. The 48 states because it's just a beautiful, beautiful city.
They want to see Lombard Street.
Yeah, there's a million things to see, but it's just everything looks cool. You don't see like the sameness, like the suburban life. There's suburbs all around in California, but San Francisco is not like that. San Francisco, every building has got its own unique flavor, and it's like there's no malls. There's not one mall in the entire city of San Francisco.
It's crazy.
I know. It's like, to me, shopping malls are the most boring thing in the whole entire universe.
Man, I wish my town had a shopping mall.
There are no shopping malls in Austin.
Yeah, no shopping malls where I live either. No outlet centers. I mean, we have like one sort of outlet center, but it's Publix, like a grocery store. It's Hibbett's, which is a sports store.
Yep.
A haircut place, and a dollar store, and a Subway.
We got a Hibbett's.
And like a couple phone stores. That's like it.
And all Hibbett's has got is jock stuff.
Right. I mean, they have some pretty cool shoes. For everybody.
Are you a sneaker file?
I am more of a Vans kind of guy, but I did get a new pair of Nikes not that long ago that I'm saving for, like, I don't know, like they're brand new. They look really good. They fit me well. Just I'm waiting for because they're like one of the fancy like high top ones, that I don't normally wear, but I would wear like with a really good outfit. So saving those for like an occasion, I guess.
All right. So like dress Nikes.
Yeah, exactly. Dress. They're like the player Nikes, like like the casual clubbing outfit Nikes sort of thing. It's hard to explain, I guess, because I'm not super into that kind of style. I usually wear Vans.
Yeah,
most of the time.
So do you have nightclubs?
No, I have to anytime I want to go out for drinks or anything like that, I typically go to Jacksonville, which is about an hour away. I have friends that live there, so I go see them and go with them.
Do you have strip clubs?
We had a strip club once, but it was open for less than a year because it was just unsuccessful. And
really?
Yeah, I mean, because like all the girls in our community are like the ones that would strip aren't worth paying for. Honestly, it's not a good community to offer a bunch of desperate women easy money. Is really what it is, but there are plenty of strip clubs and bars and nightclubs in Jacksonville, Florida, which is about an hour away from where I live.
Yeah.
And actually, recently I discovered that Jacksonville has its very first game bar, like a gaming bar. And
wow.
I went there last week. That was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it's connected. It's connected to like another restaurant, and it's got like everything you can think of a gaming bar would have.
Wow, I like that. Back in the when Guitar Hero was really really big, there was a lot of bars that were starting to have like a Guitar Hero night.
Yeah, it's like karaoke night. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to one time. It was pretty cool. Like they had the TV screen up there, and they had the guitar and the microphone.
And the drunk people doing it.
And the drunk people doing it. Yeah.
Well, this is like a full hardcore gaming dedicated environment where you go there. It's connected to a real bar and a real restaurant, but you're sitting there to rent time to play like on a dedicated gaming PC or to play on like an Xbox. Like they have like a casual side and a PC gaming side pretty much. So these are real pretty decent gaming PCs that can play most games at high settings, most games higher than 60 frames per second. So it's like you go there, if you're someone without like a good PC setup and you're into PC gaming, you can go there, play for 2 hours, pay like $6, and then boom, you got like a whole gaming experience for a few hours.
Well, that
it's really
sounds
cool.
pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool too because I was able to get one of my friends who lives in that area who is a gamer but not the most big gamer and not into PC stuff. Now he's going to get more interested in PC stuff because he went to the game bar. He got to play on a nice PC and see what it's like.
All right. Well, do they have like 4K monitors and shit like that?
They have 1080. So all the PCs and the monitors are the same. They basically bought every PC. They have about 20 in there. They bought them from iBuyPower, so they're custom-built, pre-built computers from that website. So that website basically makes their own builds and then sells them as pre-built PCs.
Yeah. I remember when I was putting my computer together, I was looking at their stuff.
Yeah. So they got all their monitors, keyboards, mice, and the PCs all as like a big bundle during Black Friday. So it cost them a good bit of change, but they saved money because they did it during Black Friday. And
also, I bet you get a discount if you buy 20 of anything.
Yeah, exactly. So the monitors are 1080p, but they're 144 hertz. So they can go higher than 60 frames per second. So like when you play Overwatch in the bar, if you tweak your settings just right, you can get it just at 144 hertz, which is a really cool playing experience if you're not used to it, because it does feel because people say you can't see above 60 frames per second or you can't see above 30. Well, obviously you can see more than 30, but and I'm someone that usually only plays 60 FPS, and man, 144 hertz really does. You can really feel it. It feels way different.
I'll bet.
And my next monitor is gonna be a 144 hertz display actually. Whenever I upgrade my monitor, because I'm actually in the process of getting my whole PC thing changed out. I actually bought a new graphics card this year. Got a 1070.
You got one now, or are you gonna get one?
Yeah, I got one now, and it's in my current PC. And I'm going to take that.
1070. You don't need any more than that. That's a badass card.
No, that's what I mean. But I'm going to take that card and put it in my next PC.
Oh, okay.
Because that card is in my old PC right now, the one I'm on right now. So I'm going to take that card with some newer parts and put it in a better PC.
All right.
And then I'm going to repurpose the old PC for something different, probably my stream PC or something like that.
Yeah. Well, when I bought my graphics card, it was like $500. It was
mine was like 400. Yeah.
Mine was a GTX 980 at the time. You know, it was
card.
Badass. Yeah, it's still probably halfway decent, but
no, it's still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 1070s perform sort of similarly to the 980s at the time, like if you were to compare them at their times.
Actually, I heard they're better.
Oh yeah, no, all the 10 series cards are better than the 9 series cards, obviously, because it's the next model. But for price efficiency, yeah, you get a lot of power for the 1070. It's just my processor right now. My PC's a little on the weak side because it's an older PC, older processor. So that's why I'm gonna take that card and move it over to the new PC once I save up some more money for it.
Yeah. My processor is a Skylake 7700. Which is still a pretty good processor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have it overclocked.
Overclocking is it's not really necessary unless like you need to. Like overclocking, I don't think it's necessary unless you're really trying to get something specific out of your PC. Like if you're trying to multitask more, or if there's a game that you do get less than optimal performance in, stuff like that.
If you're trying to squeeze every fucking pure drop out of your PC, you should be overclocking.
Well, yeah. I tried overclocking it, and it worked for a while and just fine.
Scared you.
But the first time I tried to render a BPU on it, it crashed. It's like, oh shit! I guess I need to up the voltage or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I did not do. Which I just increased the clock speed.
Yeah, I mean, I only recommend like people doing like very small overclocks. I mean, but obviously, if you know what you're doing, you can go with much higher. But just generally speaking, if you're going to overclock, you don't have to go overboard and really push your CPU and your GPU to the limit. Just if you want a little bit more juice out of it, just do that.
Well, getting a blue screen is a drag.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a bit like I don't overclock at all my current rig. I don't really need to right now though.
Yeah.
There's something that my PC really can't do that I need it to.
Yeah. So you said that you just finished editing your podcast, which is the what's the name of it again?
Too Soon.
Too Soon podcast. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, what episode number are you on?
We just finished, like before I came on here, I finished recording 19, and that comes out, and it's already uploaded, it's ready to go, but they come out on Saturday afternoons.
All right. So 19 weeks, and you haven't missed a single one.
Not yet. No.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right.
Flex thumbs of approval.
Yeah,
okay, so,
that show though has actually 2 other people that have been on this one.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I know about Thor Baby.
You had my friend Trey, who also is from Palaca. You had him on your show once.
Is he that
Casual Llama? You remember him?
Yeah. We had him on the show.
Casual Llama.
His mom was got mad at us or something. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're a couple of pedos or something.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah.
So that's the other guy. That's the other guy. Okay.
Yeah. It's me, him, Nova, Thor Baby, and then one of his friends, Nova's friends, Liam, who lives where he does. So we got 2 guys from Florida, 2 guys from New York.
I gotcha.
So it's it's pretty balanced that way.
So what's Nova up to?
He's in college, just doing what he's doing.
All right.
Not working or nothing, just in school full time, pretty much. Enjoying his summer right now, though.
Is he getting all the tang?
He's not that type of guy.
Oh, he's not.
Not really, no. Sadly, not sadly, I guess. It's just interestingly, out of those four guys, I'm probably the most promiscuous one, and I'm not even that much, like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Cool. So your guys' podcasts are pretty long lasting. I mean, do you have a set time that you would try to do it, or you just do it like we do, which just goes as long as it goes?
We just shoot for an hour every time. We shoot for around an hour. Sometimes it's about, the shortest it's been is like just under 50 minutes. The longest it's been is like an extra 15 minutes. But that was like the early episodes where we were still getting used to it. So now we always end around an hour.
Now, what if the conversation is just getting good? You got a good topic you're talking about, and it's like, I mean, would you go to 2 hours if it warranted it?
No, because the way we host the show, we don't ever want to go too far over time because that will make the file size too big. So, because we want each episode to be able to, because the way the show gets uploaded, we have a limited amount of storage every month we work with for the show, so that it gets uploaded to the website that we host it on. And if the files are too big, we run out of storage.
Gotcha.
So, but we're pretty good at curbing the show when we need to end it, because we always end it off with one, because like we don't really have segments, but we have one segment that's kind of a segment where at the end of the show we always end it off by each of us recommending a new song for people to listen to if they want to. So usually when we're about the hour mark, we usually just transition to recommending 4 songs, one for each of us, and then we wrap up the show.
Okay, so what kind of music do you tend to listen to yourself?
Me, not a lot these days, because I'm not really actively looking for new music right now to listen to. But my favorite genres are kind of like folk and punk folk, shit like that. A lot of acoustic guitar shit.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then of course I love hip hop too, though. But that's like probably like my go-to. Like if someone asks you like, what's my favorite type of music? Probably that.
Okay, so folk and punk folk.
Yeah, I'm not a punk guy myself, but I like that style of music to listen to.
Okay. Acoustic guitars. Wow.
Yeah, so folk has a lot of acoustic guitar shit. It's like a better. It's not even similar to country, but it's like a lot of people like country to me, from what I've noticed, because it has more traditional types of instruments. Same thing with folk; it has more traditional types of instruments most of the time.
All right, folk. You got your guitar, mandolin, banjo.
Mm-hmm. Now, in most modern folk bands, you don't see a lot of banjo. We do see guitar, mandolin, shit like that. Basses, drums.
Yeah. You don't usually have sampled shit.
No, I mean some of the bands I listen to that are folk have albums where they're almost not folk and they do some more synthy shit. Because I listen to like modern folk shit. So like bands that have been coming out the last 2 decades, not like classic folk, but I do like some classic folk too. Like some of my favorite bands that are similar to that are like AJJ or Angie, or they were known as Andrew Jackson Jihad. What else do I like? Noah and the Whales, another band similar. A Canadian band like the Weaker Thans, I like them. So, and it's usually shit that's not that popular because it's not a very popular genre and like mainstream shit.
Huh. What about like the greats like Bob Dylan?
I mean, all those types of artists are what inspired the newer types of groups I listen to. Really.
What about your hardcore addiction to acid rock? How do you explain that?
Rock. I mean, like my favorite thing about rock and metal as genres of music is the guitar. Like guys who are into rock, obviously a lot of them learn guitar because it's just the guitar you hear in rock and roll, and especially metal, is just so fucking intense. Like the way they're just masters of that fucking instrument. Mm-hmm. They annihilate that instrument, but the rest of the genre I just don't care. I mean, the drums also are really cool in rock and metal, but just I don't know, the aggressiveness of a lot of the music is just sometimes a little too much for me. Just like because I listen to music a lot of times just to chill out.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm not in the mood to like. A lot of times when I'm listening to music, I'm not in the mood to be like pumped up. I want to be kind of chilled out,
Mellowed out,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, mellowed out. Trying to think what I was trying to say. Oh yeah, but the guitar stuff though is like really cool to listen to by itself from metal, but I just don't like listening to the whole genre a whole lot because it's just
I
it's
hear
just
ya.
so much.
Now I got a band that originally came from your neck of the woods. They came from Florida, the Panhandle of Florida, and that is my favorite band of all time is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Nice.
How do you feel about that?
I don't think I've heard their stuff.
You never, of course, you've heard Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I'm not. I like the specific music and the artists I like, but I'm not an avid. And I even played music when I was in school, a little bit here and there these days. But I'm not an avid. Like I explore artists a lot and stuff like that. I kind of just find the few things I like. I'll listen to them for a very long time, and then every once in a while I'll be introduced to something else new.
Okay,
So
I'm going to have to hire someone to end your life since you've never heard of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I've definitely heard. I've heard of the band. I don't think I've heard their music though.
I swear to God, the only thing that we can do is euthanize you. You leave us no choice.
I mean, you can ask me about. You can do the same thing you just did with almost any other like old school, popular, important, influential artist or band, and I'd probably be able to do the same thing. Probably haven't heard of him. Not heard of him, but heard it.
Okay, how about Leonard Skinner?
Probably like maybe one or two of his songs.
Okay, Flex,
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Well, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And this is not because, like I said, not because I'm not aware of things that come before or other types of music, just because I'm not the biggest like music listener compared to some people. Some people like a big hobby of theirs just to collect music
my
on their phone
life,
to shit.
man.
Yeah, see.
I listen to music constantly.
Flex, I just don't know what to do with these millennials, man. Well, that's all right.
Everybody's different. Everybody's got their thing, man.
Well, I'm an oddity compared to most people I know. Like most of my friends, even to this day, are except for like maybe a handful, are super into finding whole different types of artists that they like, referencing every track, album, year, collaboration, shit like that. People really are into following music artists. I like just listening to music when I feel the mood for it. I don't really like having to keep up with music, I guess.
Okay, how about just
I
mindless?
can understand that.
Just like soulless pop music, like Katy Perry kind of shit. You like that?
At clubs sometimes, but if I've had enough to drink.
Yeah.
I've had enough to drink.
Probably my favorite popular artists, I guess. I mean, see, that's the thing. When I think of my favorite popular artists, I immediately go to hip hop. I don't really go to like pop. I mean, I like some of Katy Perry's older stuff. Her newer albums, I think, are just kind of like copies of other shit that other people make. Like, I think I saw the music video for a new song that Katy Perry made on her newest album. Like, some friends were showing it to me, and it looked like a combination of Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga to me. Yeah. It felt unoriginal. Gaga, actually, no, I'll correct that. Gaga is actually probably the coolest mainstream artist there is, as far as originality as her character, and her music is still kind of stands out a little bit. So she's cool.
I give props to Lady Gaga. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah, no, she's like definitely one of the better people that has become mainstream, for sure, musically and just overall character in person.
Now, I'm not sure. She was thin, and then she got fat, and then she got thin again. Is she thin or fat right now?
Well, I think she performed at the Super Bowl this year, and I remember her just being pretty active in that. So,
yeah, because she did get to be quite a porker for a while.
I've never really followed her too deeply, but I do know a lot of my friends and people in my life that are super obsessed with her, so I always hear shit from them.
All right.
But what have you guys been playing lately, though?
Well, I haven't been playing video games at all. I've been playing guitar. I don't know if you noticed there's a rack of guitars behind me.
Damn.
That's a Telecaster that you see.
Actually, I bought a guitar this year.
You did?
I bought a starter guitar that I've touched like maybe 3 or 4 times.
Acoustic or electric?
Acoustic, because I prefer the acoustic guitar. Electric guitar is badass, though. It's just I wanted to see if I can actually have enough time to teach myself just some basic guitar shit. Because when I was in school, I learned how to play brass instruments. Like I can play baritone extremely well, and I can play trumpet pretty okay. And then I learned some other shit like how to sing a little bit and how to play piano a little bit. So I've always had music experience, but I've never played anything with strings. So, and the guitar is my favorite instrument to listen to. Not my favorite instrument to play, but to listen to. Love listening to guitar stuff. Some of my favorite songs in the world are just one guitar and a fucking guy singing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, the good thing about guitar is you can take it anywhere along the spectrum, and it's still great. It's like you can get a virtuoso level, and that's fine. But you could also, like a beginner can strum chords.
Yeah, a few chords, just a strum pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it can go anywhere from like, just novice to, somebody who will blow your mind.
Yeah, and it was cool because I bought a pretty cheap starter one that had pretty good reviews. Like it looked like the build quality was good, and it was. I'm actually really happy with it. But the strings are shit, so I bought new strings and I strung it myself, which was fun. Strung it myself, and I played it a few times, but now it's like in the other room just because it just takes up space in my room, and I don't play it enough to keep it in here. Well, it sucks because I do want to learn it, but it's just God. I just like when I sit down, I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice a little bit today. I always end up just doing it for a few minutes, get frustrated, and do something else. Mainly because I have fucking tiny hands for a guy, and the fingering, some of them are really fucking painful for me, or just really annoying to do.
Yeah. Well, there's workarounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of different. From what I've seen, from what little I've learned so far, is there's a lot of different ways to do multiple chords.
Have you ever watched a woman, like a fairly petite woman, play guitar? They can still play. They just have to figure out ways to make their smaller hands do the job.
Yeah, I mean, most women I meet have about the same size hands I do, or maybe a little bit bigger. So that's what I'm working with in my hands.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, who else has small hands? Our president.
Yeah, I feel him though. I mean, tiny hands. But then again, though, I'm not the most proportioned guy out there. I guess like I'm still a little stocky, but I'm better proportioned than he is, though.
Yeah. So you're saying you can't palm a basketball?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really play basketball. I haven't touched a basketball in a long time, not since probably school.
Well, that's where you can like hold a basketball and hold it upside down.
I probably couldn't actually.
Yeah, well, yeah, it takes some pretty big hands to do that. I think I can't do it.
I don't even have like a size reference in my room I could think of to use to show. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you have small hands, then you probably have small feet too.
Yeah, I have. I mean, like size 9. Some people say that's small for a man.
I wouldn't say that's small. That's like average size.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Flex got big old dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I've known a lot of people with size 9 in shoes, so.
I got size 13s.
Well, you really do have some big motherfucking feet. Mine are 11 and a half.
I got 13s.
You know
like
what?
Fucking water skis.
It grew. It's like when I was younger, it was only 11. So now it's 11 and a half.
I'm happy with my shoe size, though, just because most of the time when I go shoe shopping, I typically don't have to worry about that size being out because it's not as common as like 10s and 11s in men's. I've noticed. I've noticed 10s and 11s are way more common than 9s.
Yeah. Well, I don't go shoe shopping anymore. I buy everything on the fucking internet. Amazon, baby. Amazon.
I still try to buy clothes and shoes in person as much as I can, so that way I can actually try everything out. Like the last pair of Vans I bought were from Amazon, and they actually fit me perfectly, so I was happy about that.
Well, once you know your size in Vans, aren't all Vans in that size going to fit?
Pretty much, but there's a few different there's a little bit of variance in the different styles, but I go for some of the most basic types though most of the time.
Do you like the slip-ons or the tie-ups?
Well, the cool thing about Vans is you can make almost any Van a slip-on just by tying it the right way by doing a bar lace. So that's what I typically do. I bar lace a shoe and I hide the strings under the tongue. And once you have that set up right, you can just slide it on, and it'll be just that right level of like being tight.
But they make dedicated slip-on styles.
Yeah, but like those I don't like though.
That's kind of an iconic Van style.
It is, but I just typically go for the ones that do have laces because I do like the ability to make it a little bit tighter if I need to make it tighter. So while still not having to worry about strings as much because I can tuck it under the shoe or under the tongue.
Yeah. So we were talking about video games. Flex, what are you playing these days?
I've been playing Battlefield 1 and Rock Band and Guitar Hero and MotoGP 17. And what else? A little bit of Deadpool.
Ah. Oh, did
That came
you
out like
hear?
2014. That's a while back.
The Deadpool 2 movie, some stunt person died a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's going to be a good movie then.
Yeah, really. I hope they use the footage. Yeah, I think it was a female stunt person, and they didn't have like details about how it happened, but
I don't think I've ever heard of a Marvel movie death yet. I mean, that's technically not the Marvel movies, but you know what I mean, like one of the popular superhero movies.
You mean like an actual death in real life?
Yeah, an actual death in real life, like around those, because like those, because like 2 or 3 of those movies are made several superhero movies are made every single year consecutively without stopping. Like 2 or 3 are in shooting or in production at all times now.
Right.
So, and you think along that process, you'd be hearing more about some type of accidents more often, but they seem to have it pretty efficient.
Right. Well, you probably don't hear about situations where somebody gets hurt, maybe even really bad. If they don't die, it doesn't make the news.
Yeah, that's true. Because like I remember way back, Lord of the Rings times, the guy who played Sam in Lord of the Rings, he had like a whole piece of glass go straight through his foot during one of the scenes, like a shooting, because he was walking in a river for the movie, barefoot, because the hobbits were barefoot in those movies. So it went right through his prosthetic foot because he was wearing like fake, fake hobbit feet that were slightly bigger than human feet, or actually a lot bigger than human feet. So it went right through that, went through his foot. So from top to bottom, it went through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was bad. And actually, I saw that guy who played Sam. I just thought about this. I forgot I saw him. I saw him in person at Tampa Bay Comic-Con 2016. He was there as a panelist.
Oh, cool. Did everybody ask him to take his shoe off and let's see your scar?
I don't think it's that well known, because I only know that because I when I was younger, especially, I used to love watching like behind the scenes stuff of movies.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Like how they make stuff happen. I like movies where they actually use like stunts. Like,
practical effects, not special effects.
What was that? Road Warrior? Was it
Mad
Road
Max?
Warrior? Mad Max. Yeah, it was that Mad Max movie. Now that I liked it because
It's full of practical effects. Yeah,
there's actual people putting themselves in danger.
I still have never seen the movie.
Oh, really? It's quite good.
I heard since it came out, it's good. But I'm also, especially after working in a movie theater for a little while, like I did, I'm less motivated to go see movies because I got to see
Cruise
so many.
Got hurt,
In what?
He was doing a stunt for the new Mission Impossible movie. He was jumping a span and he missed and broke his ankle.
Ow.
Yeah. Yep. I don't like Tom Cruise. I don't like his personality. I don't like the whole Scientology thing. I think he's full of shit. But I have to give it up to him. He is actually one of my more favorite action movie stars. He's actually good at that stuff.
You ever see Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
Good flick.
Very good. Very good. That's Keanu, right?
Huh?
That's Keanu, right?
No.
No. I'm thinking of that other name.
I know what you're talking about. That Keanu, actually, he just had a sequel not that long ago.
Yeah, it's
John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking
John Wick.
of.
Yeah. Jack
He's good also. He's very good also. That John Wick stuff. He's quite good.
Yeah, people say like that's his best performance since The Matrix.
Oh like yeah, and of course The Matrix. You can't forget that.
Yeah, I mean,
Matrix.
I rewatched the first Matrix like a year or two ago, and when I watched that being old, because like I saw Matrix around when it came out as a kid. Mm-hmm. A lot of that shit in the movie goes way over because it's a very all over the place movie.
It's a pretty deep movie.
And everything. Yeah. Really anime inspired too. And now that I've grown up, experienced lots of different types of shows and media, games, and seeing all of its influences in Matrix from back in like 2001. No, wait. The Matrix came out in 1999? I think it did.
Probably. That sounds about right.
99 or 2000 it came out. And then the sequels came out in like 2001 and 2003, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast, Tgizzle. I don't know.
Well, that movie was the first time that they ever had that bullet time effect.
Yeah. That was cool, man.
And that also where the camera goes around the action sequence in slow motion. It's like, wow, that blew people's minds.
Small job in my case, but whatever.
Yeah, but just seeing that movie though as actually as an adult, like not that long ago, and actually being able to like kind of see everything that was in it for the first time was really cool. And maybe not want to watch sequels because I knew what those movies kind of turned into after that.
Yeah. Well, also that movie had a lot of religious undertones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Neo is a messiah. You know, it's like the civilization was called Zion, even.
Yeah.
It's like, and his name Neo is like, you know,
the one.
The one, yeah. Like he's the savior. He's Jesus. He's Jesus Christ.
And I believe the antagonist, the suit guy, I think his name is a reference to like one of the passages in the Bible too, or something like that.
So what was his name?
I've seen like I think like around the time I rewatched The Matrix like a year or two ago, I think I watched a few different YouTube videos like analyzing a lot of its like symbolisms.
The symbology of it, yeah.
Like Christian stuff is cool as a mythology.
Yeah, I like the Omen movies were awesome. You know, it's like, you know, the 666, the number of the beast, and all that shit. It's like whoever wrote that originally was definitely high on shrooms.
Yeah, fucking Revelations and all
Dickinson from Iron Maiden. Everybody knows he wrote that song. Number of the beast, 666.
Well, Revelations is the weirdest thing.
Look what's happened. I've drifted off from La La Land and got lost in conversation of myself.
Well, Revelation is the weirdest part of the Bible. I mean, it is like some kind of acid trip.
Yeah, it is fucking super high fantasy medieval acid trip.
Yo.
If anybody wanted to make an action movie with like a really high budget, you could just like the whole Four Horsemen business and the serpent with all the heads and the horns and all that shit, the 7 seals and the 7 trumpets and all that crazy shit.
7 dwarves.
You could make a hell of an action flick with that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you guys ever heard the series called Darksiders? The games?
Sounds familiar.
They're a action adventure game, kind of inspired by things like Ratchet and Clank, shit like that came from the 3D, from the action platform 3D era of like the early 2000s. But this game, the first Darksiders came out during the early 360 lifespan. And that whole series, Darksiders, is based on the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse and Revelations. Like, that's the plot.
Oh.
So in each different Darksiders game, you're playing as a different horseman. In the first one, you play War. The second one, you play...
Pestilence, Famine.
Is Death one? Or what are all 4? There's War, Pestilence, Famine, and...
Yeah, I think War, Pestilence, Famine, Death.
Is it Death?
Each one rides a different color horse.
I'm gonna look it up really because it's gonna bother me.
4 horsemen ride.
2 screens.
Yeah. Tell us what the horsemen are. What are they?
Yeah, but in the first one you play War for sure though.
I think Death rides a pale horse.
Yeah.
Which means like a light green or something.
There's the white horse, red horse, black horse, and pale horse. But I'm trying to look at the actual different horsemen themselves. Let's see. There's War, Famine. Wait. Pestilence.
Yep.
Let's see. Here, I'm just gonna read it line for line. It's easier. Though theologians and popular culture differ on the first horseman, 4 riders are often seen symbolizing conquest or pestilence, so interchangeable. And frequently the Christ or the Antichrist is symbolized by pestilence, war, famine, and death. Yeah. So the first one is war, the second one is death, and then the third game is eventually coming out. They announced, and I believe you're playing as I think Pestilence.
So, are there other
Maybe Famine.
biblical references in the game? I bet there
Yeah,
are.
I mean, well, the very first game starts with Revelation starting, with the fucking end of the world and the war between heaven and hell starting. So literally, angels from heaven are coming down, and fucking demons from the ground are coming up, and they're fighting in cities. And then you're a horseman coming in, dealing with it. So, but the gameplay itself is like a third-person action adventure game where you go through different worlds, beat up creatures, get new abilities, shit like that. But all told through basically Revelations.
Wow.
But it looks at it more as like a mythology than the actual religious aspects of it, which is more fun.
Yeah, in Revelations, there's only going to be 144,000 people saved.
Wait, there's a number? I didn't know it was a fucking number. That's
There's
fucked
a
up.
number. Yeah, only 144,000.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot.
132,398.
I mean, considering there's like 300 million people just in the U.S.
So I wonder if the idea of that is more based on like an actual limit, or just through fate and destiny, those are going to be the only good people by that time. 144,000.
No. Heaven has an occupancy thing by the fire marshal. It's like, no more than 144,000 by order of the fire marshal.
That's really. I'd never heard that before. That's really interesting.
Now, I wonder, does Jesus count? Do they counting Jesus in that as like 144,000 and Jesus?
Well, Jesus has already been up there for a while by that point, so they don't count him, I think.
Okay, he probably doesn't.
What are you talking about?
Well, when I get up there, I'll save Jesus a seat. Now, would you, if heaven was real, do you wish it was real? And you could, if you could go there, would you rather go there, or would you rather just like when you die, the lights are out?
Honestly, because I'm super selfish, if there was any alternative to nothing, I'd probably take it. Just because I'd rather have my consciousness live on past whatever my life is. Because I like the idea of at least being able to think and have thoughts and continue in some sense, because that sounds more preferable than just not existing anymore. Because I'm selfish like that. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, I don't want to live forever. I don't want to do this shit. I'd rather take anything I can get. To be quite honest.
Forever, that's a long time. I mean,
a
trillion years isn't even scratching the surface.
I suppose the better way to put it is like, I'd rather live as long as modern human civilization does.
Okay. How about you, Flex? If heaven was real and you could go there, would you want it to be real? Or would you want to just turn out the lights?
I wanted it to be real, so I could go to heaven and do all the things that they say you can do in the Bible, like chase wild women and.
Well, I mean, realistically,
all the fun stuff you get to do on Earth that you never get time to do.
Well,
yeah,
that's kind of shit that's going to make sure you never get there, motherfucker.
yeah, but
all the fun stuff I did. Oh, it's too late. There's nothing I can do about it. What do I do now? I'll repent on my deathbed.
That's it. That's the secret. It's like,
yeah. I'd rather not spend my eternity, though. What? Sorry?
How do you want to spend your eternity, or how you?
No, I was gonna say I'd rather not spend my eternity, though. Even if I was conscious, completely subservient to like a being forever. That sounds miserable, but I still probably still would take it just to be in existence still. But yeah,
so you have to worship Jesus
God.
every day.
Exactly. That sounds fucking terrible.
That sounds incredibly horrible. It's
yeah,
like,
just like
Jesus Christ, get me out of here.
You can be comfortable and live in this cloud space, whatever the fuck it really is, for the rest of eternity. But you got to make sure forever. You know who the fuck's in charge.
That's it.
So that sounds.
But see,
lame.
the opposite though is hell. If you go to hell, you're tortured in a lake of fire.
I know who's in charge.
And when your skin burns off, you grow more skin just so that can burn off too.
Yeah, I really hope there's I hope hell has some loopholes. Like, okay, so eventually you get used to it, you just get used to it, and then it just becomes normal, and then you stop feeling it because you're so used to it. That'd be cool.
Well, it's like you wonder, is like, could I take it? Being tortured for eternity, could I take it? But think there's plenty of people before you who've managed it. So hey, if they can do it, I can do it. I can handle it.
Also, that's such a ridiculous fucking idea that you live one bad life, so forever you are physically tormented. That's such a shit punishment,
for 100 trillion years.
Yeah, because the whole idea of punishment to begin with is to teach someone what they did wrong. So if someone lived a bad life and then they somehow exist after death and they get tortured forever, what the fuck does that do? It doesn't do anything. That's a very immature way of looking at, being a person.
Yeah. Well, it's funny is if you ask some places, they would give you a very detailed account of heaven. They'll give you a very detailed account of hell. When, sorry, nobody's ever been to either place. It's like, if they have, they're still there. They never came back.
Yeah.
You hear these near-death experiences.
I croaked on the table. They had to resuscitate me. CPR and mouth to mouth, or the squeezed bag. Didn't see nothing. Don't remember nothing.
They didn't even get a hot nurse to give you, mouth to mouth.
Nope. Don't remember a thing about it. Didn't see no white light. Didn't see no angels. Didn't see anything. Just woke up like I woke up from any other surgery, and
you didn't even see any angels. God, what a ripoff!
I know. That's what I thought. It's like I died and I didn't get to see nothing good.
Now, what I want to know is, can you see through their clothes? I mean, sometimes they're wearing what appears to be pretty sheer angel robes.
Well, I imagine every fucking angel's naked because the whole idea is for them to be pure entities, and I imagine clothes is just. Well, I mean, the Bible says that clothes and all the shit that we do now is just because we've learned the truth and we're in pure and all that shit. So I imagine everybody in heaven's fucking naked as shit.
All right, there you go.
So,
now, that's inconvenient though, because if you see your sister and you get a boner, it's like everybody will see.
I think bonus exists in heaven.
You don't get boners.
Who knows, really?
Well, you certainly can't. You certainly can't whack off. I mean, that's not allowed in heaven. So you can't do that.
Well, there's probably just no sex when you think about it, because the only reason why sex exists is to make more babies, and that's why God made it. So why would anybody be fucking in heaven? You wouldn't.
God, you get some serious blue balls in heaven, man.
Yeah, the more you think about the logistics of it, it's a really stupid and shit idea.
Yeah, it's like when you start actually trying
pretty hard to swallow, if you ask me.
When you start looking at just how exactly would this work, the more you look at it, the more ridiculous the idea becomes.
Yeah, the only way I can really imagine like an actual real afterlife working out well to the point where you actually would want to go is if it was like a replication of being alive, but just a better version of being actually alive.
It's Six Flags, man. Every day is Six Flags.
That's the way to look at it. Six Flags, like being alive but better. That's a new slogan.
Yeah, and you get to buy all the junk food that you want, and all the souvenirs. You can buy all the souvenirs you want. You're not limited. You see people walking around, they're carrying these enormous, Oh, and you win at the games. You win every time. And there's no lines. There's no lines. Even for the best roller coasters, there's no lines.
I dig it. But I've never been to Six Flags. I've only ever been to Universal and Disney.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Six Flags is like, you've seen one amusement park, you've seen them all. I mean, they're all the same idea.
Yeah. When you live like less than a couple hours away from Orlando, of all places, you learn what they're like. So.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I've been to Disneyland.
Yeah, I hear Disney World's actually a lot better than Disneyland. There's a lot more shit in Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, so but Disneyland is OG, baby.
It's also in Anaheim, of all places.
It is in Anaheim. That's a weird place for it to be.
Oh,
I mean,
gee, what's that mean? Old Goofy?
The Mighty Ducks are there too.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah.
Goofy.
Anaheim. That's
Oh, gee.
it's like, it's not L.A. Okay, I'll tell you that much. Orange County is not L.A. It is definitely got its own feel, but it's not L.A. I wouldn't live in Orange County. Sorry.
Wouldn't
I would-
live there, huh?
If I was going to live in Southern California, I would want to live in Santa Monica or West Hollywood.
Yeah, I definitely want to go visit some shit in California one of these days, but I gotta get some more capital, some more money, so I can go do more shit. That's why I gotta
That's
move to
it.
get some better opportunities.
Well, what you got to do is you got to find a rich old lady that was sugar mama herself to you.
But more importantly, I gotta find somewhere where there are rich old ladies.
Yeah, there you go.
Ain't nobody
There
rich
you go.
here. It's
Well,
fact.
You know, you look like you got the makings of a gigolo. You got gigolo material there.
I'm half Hispanic, man. I can get away with a lot of things.
So Puerto Rico, right? Is that
Yeah,
what it
Puerto
is?
Rican. Yep, my grandparents were born and raised in Puerto Rico. Then they moved to the U.S. And raised their family in the Bronx, New York, until my dad was about 18. That's when they all moved to Florida together.
Okay.
And then when my dad was about in his mid to late 30s, is when, not 30s, mid to late 20s is when he met my mom. So
Now, do you speak Spanish?
no, my dad speaks fluent, perfect Spanish and English, but because he married a lady from the South, he never spoke a lot of Spanish around her and never around his kids. And I was never visiting my Spanish family enough to pick it up. Like, I saw them often, but never like in long periods of time and not living with them daily. I mean, I always tell my dad, like when I see him, which isn't very often these days, is like, I really wish you would have just spoke Spanish to us daily, to us only directly, so we would have picked it up. But he just didn't really think about it at the time.
Yeah. Well, it would be handy to be able to speak Spanish.
Yeah, just on a functional level, it'd be just nice just to have the advantage of being able to put bilingual on my resume and have that skill and be able to travel more places easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have really preferred if I learned Spanish, and it sucks because like that's one less thing I get to have from that part of my family too. So
Yeah. Well, you know, what's this? I don't know too much about Puerto Rico. It's like I know more about Mexico and Mexican food. Like what's Puerto Rican food?
I honestly didn't eat too much Spanish food growing up. I would only ever eat a lot of Spanish foods whenever I would go to my abuela's house, to my grandma's house. And honestly, most of the time we just had a lot of pork and rice when I was with her. A lot of Spanish rice and a lot of Spanish cooked pork.
Well,
And I'm
that's
not
good
much of a
stuff.
cook, so I can't really tell you exactly how they make it because I'm not much of a cook myself.
Now you're not much of a cook. Okay.
I eat out a lot. That's probably the reason why I have extra weight on me, because I do eat out so much. So
Yeah, it's not good for you.
no, it's not. But I'm too lazy to. I mean, I cook. I'll make a meal for myself at home every now and then. Like when I feel like going to the grocery store and getting something I know I can prep and make pretty, for like an hour or so. But that's not very often.
Can you nuke hot dogs?
I mean, like if I'm eating stuff at home, that's like a lot of times like if I want like a full on meal and I don't feel like cooking, I'll go with frozen stuff. I try to find the good frozen stuff. Like I'm really into stove freeze lasagnas. Those are really good.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Shit like that.
it's tasty.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you follow the instructions, you bake the shit right, it'll come out cooked. I mean, it's the same thing as if you fucking made it, because as long as you get frozen food that has not really been cooked much at all, it's almost the same thing as cooking it yourself. It's just not as fresh. So, but that's just the price you pay for having it prepared for you.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Flex, can you cook anything?
I can cook all kinds of food. I used to do all the cooking.
Oh.
When I lived with my ex and my kid, I did all the cooking. So
You ever
yeah,
make
I'm a very good cook.
You ever make a pie?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I'm actually my little brother, the one who has the baby, the one I mentioned at the start of the show. He actually works as a cook in a restaurant. So it's funny how he's become a much better cook than me because he's been cooking for like the last about year, 2 years almost. So he can do a lot more than me in the kitchen already.
Well, I never cook. I just am too lazy. I'm too impatient. When I want to eat, I want to eat. I don't want to sit around cooking.
There's that too, and it sucks is when you like my least favorite feeling about cooking is when the food is basically done and the last step is to put it on a plate and get somewhere. Like you just want to eat it as soon as it's done, as soon as you have it cooked and put together. You don't want to wait to sit down and put it on a plate and serve people. You want to eat it there. So that's a big thing for me. Like when I cook something and it's done, I don't even wait for the plate. I'll just usually eat it off the skillet or off whatever I baked it or cooked it on.
Yeah. Just there's the pan. Just take a fork in the pan and just dig in.
There you go.
But I guess that's also a side effect of living mostly alone for such a long time and not used to having like a whole family sit down, whatever. Yeah. Some people can't eat without people around them. I prefer to eat alone because I do it quickly and get to the point.
Yeah. Are you a fast eater?
Yeah, really am. Like, I've had several jobs where I've had to drive a lot, and that's also when I started probably eating the most fast food is whenever I was driving a lot for jobs, for work. And I've developed a habit where a lot of times if I go eat fast food by myself, I won't go inside and eat. I won't take it home. I'll just park in the parking lot of the place and eat in my car.
Yeah. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, but and it's gone within like the first few minutes.
So you wolf it down.
And I get back and I go back to driving, and I'll just and I'm the type of person too that typically won't touch their drink if it's like if I can eat the food pretty quick, I won't touch my drink till everything is done, so I can have the most amount of drink to wash everything down with.
I'm the same way. I usually don't drink while I'm eating. I usually just eat and then I drink.
Yeah, and then I usually like focus on one group of the food most of the time. So like if I have a burger and fries, I eat the burger, then I'll eat the fries. I don't go back and forth a lot.
Now I am the same way. I'll eat one group of food, just like if I've served like breakfast. I got bacon, eggs, and pancakes. I'll eat all the eggs first. Mm-hmm. Then I'll eat all the bacon,
and then the sweet thing last. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like some people they'll sample a little bit of this and then they'll change to that. It's like I never do that.
Yeah, it also takes longer. I feel like if you eat that way.
I'll be back. I gotta pee.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now my favorite thing is weekend brunch. We always have weekend brunch. There's a lot of places where we go to get omelets and eggs Benedict kind of shit. Are you a breakfast guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more of a lunch guy, but like lunch is probably my favorite types of foods, more than dinner and breakfast. But I do enjoy some good breakfast. Like my favorite place to go eat breakfast is Huddle House. So,
what is it called?
Huddle House. It's a chain of it's kind of like Waffle House, kind of like IHOP almost.
Yeah,
but it's a bit smaller than those, and I think the food's better. Actually, I went to the an IHOP in Jacksonville when I was there last week for the first time in a long time, and I hated it. It was not good.
Really?
What?
Yeah. The IHOP, well, I mean, I think it was more up to the IHOP, that specific IHOP than IHOP in general. But a lot of the silverware there wasn't fucking, because like I've never been a dishwasher. I've never worked in a restaurant, but I've been in positions in other jobs where I've had to clean shit. I know how to clean, like a decent person who's ever worked before should know how to fucking clean at least a little bit, And I'm getting fucking silverware on my table and already rolled up in the napkins with fucking shit on it still, And my coffee, and I asked for coffee. My coffee cup had a fucking lipstick stain still on it. And I almost drank out of it, but because it was on the opposite side of the cup. But my friend pointed it out to me, so that didn't set off good. And then the pancakes to me were a little dry. What did I eat? I know I had pancakes as a side. I had an omelet. I had an omelet with pancakes as a side, and the omelet was I felt like kind of dry and overcooked. Everything else in it was fine. It was like okay omelet, and then the pancakes, like everything felt like it was cooked too long, which is really disappointing because I have even my little shitty town Palatka, we have a badass breakfast place called Huddle House that we go to, and it's amazing in comparison and cheaper. So.
Yeah.
So
what I miss from growing up in Texas is we used to have Waffle Houses all over the place. You guys got Waffle House?
Yeah, we have Waffle House, but we have almost as many Huddle Houses as we do Waffle House, and I think Huddle House is a little better. So
I never thought Waffle House was great, but they're okay, and they're quick. You know, you go in there, it's not going to take all day to get your food.
And it's funny too, the Huddle House in Palatka, the main guy who runs it, who's the main cook, he's like this really like cool as fuck looking guy with like tats up and down his fucking arms, super skinny. Looks like he probably did a whole bunch of like coke back in like the 80s. Which he looks like a good guy, like a really well put together guy now. But he has this really long beard that's dyed red, and he has like a little thing that he puts over his beard. So he works in a breakfast place. And he always, like every time I see him, he always has the thing on. So like he's good about it, you know. But you would think like if you're gonna work and own and kind of run that kind of place, you would just not do the beard. I wouldn't. Not that kind of beard.
Yeah, that's pretty elaborate.
But he fucking commits. Every time I see him there, he fucking has it on. So
yeah,
he rather keep his beard.
Now Flex, how big of a breakfast guy are you?
I can't really eat breakfast because I got to do the chemo thing first thing in the morning on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And even though I got medical pot or whatever, I can't generate enough of an appetite, so I'm not a real big breakfast guy.
Not a big.
I usually don't eat till like 11 o'clock or noon.
Ah.
Actually, this year I found out one of my friends who I went to high school with, he has cancer.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he graduated a year after me, and when I was in high school, he was in band with me, he was in theater with me, we did a lot of stuff together. We used to be pretty close. And I visited, and I haven't seen him since like February this year because like I don't see him that much anymore now that we're not in school together. But I visited him and his boyfriend actually, because I went to school with both of them because they were both my friends in high school, and they live together now. So I was visiting both of them at the same time, and they were telling me about everything. And he's on chemotherapy even now, I still think, but he hasn't lost any hair yet.
Wow, that's
so,
cool. So
yeah,
he was gay in high school. Was he out then?
He came out like when he was like a junior in high school.
Oh, really?
So like a year, like my senior year, he came out then. The guy he was dating, his that later in that year though, had been open since all of high school. So he was like the most commonly known gay guy in the school. And I knew both of them very well when I was in school with them.
Yeah, we didn't have any out gay people when I was in high school. Not one.
Yeah, he was.
We're old. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, the one I just mentioned, he was the only open gay person I knew in my whole basically going through all of school until my senior year. Then some more people started coming out around that time.
I'll say this honestly, and it's the truth, and it's sad, but like when I was growing up at that age frame, if somebody would have done that, they would have got the shit beat out of them, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just such a different fucking mentality back then.
It's true,
and it's like I'm glad it changed. You know,
well, that's why you didn't know too many out people because it would have got the shit beat out of them constantly.
Yeah,
they might have just been killed.
Yeah, could have outright been killed.
Yeah, or in some cases worse. You know, fucking permanently fucking tortured. Yeah, or have their fucking dicks cut apart because like fucking weird straight people that don't like gay people are like that. They'll like try to sexually torture people by mutilating them. So weird. Like you hate, like you apparently hate gay people, but you find a fitting punishment is to mutilate your genitals. I mean that doesn't happen as much anymore.
You have a problem with sexual deviation, but it's okay to emasculate someone. That's okay.
Yeah,
okay, I get it.
Or shove broomsticks up their ass or something. You know.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah. For a lot of those people, what it really is that it's like, oh, this person is gay. That's an excuse for me to take out some of my weird fantasies and frustrations and torture them.
Apparently,
yeah. I mean, that obviously that stuff doesn't happen as much anymore, but still, those people, the same mentalities exist.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, you know, it's pretty easy to be gay. I mean, there's still probably a lot of places where you do not want to be out gay. I mean, it'll probably still cause some problems. I mean, but you know, any major city. I mean, I work in San Francisco.
Yeah. It sucks how aggressive the last 2 years have been feeling though after like a solid. Honestly, most of my adolescence from I want to say like the start of middle school to most of high school felt like things were always evolving as I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time in my life now as an adult where things feel like they're taking steps back in society, which it happens though. Like look at look at like around the time of fucking civil rights movement and all that. There was ups and downs.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I grew up. I mean, when I was a little bitty kid, the segregation was still legal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, black fountains and black lunch counters and stuff like that. So I mean, it wasn't that long ago. The Civil Rights Act that ended segregation technically was 1964. It's not that long ago.
Nope.
So anyway, now we got neo-Nazis and
yeah, and I was thinking about that when we were talking about that earlier. I honestly don't. I even feel like calling all these like alt-right people, all these like modern white supremacists in America now. Even I feel like calling them Nazis is almost like honestly too good for them in a way. Because when I think about a Nazi, I think about the German party that organized and took over an entire country.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like someone is racist and against black people doesn't make them a Nazi. Because like honestly, they're not even that smart. They're not even that good. Because like the Nazis, was a party that took over their whole entire country and started a fucking war that almost ended humanity. Nazis were fucking some big shit. They were terrible people. I don't respect them or like them, but that was an influential fucking group of people.
Yeah. Well, calling the people like at that protest Nazis, that's not true. I mean, did they blitzkrieg anybody? Did they have panzers? Are they invading other countries? No.
No, but I do think racist people that actively go out and try to make people feel shit for just being themselves are almost just as bad as that.
Yeah.
And I feel like neo-Nazi is a better way to say it than just Nazi, because I kind of described it as like, a new form of it. But right now in the United States, besides like the KKK, which has always exists, there's no real strong, one strong unifying organization of white supremacists and racists. There's just many different groups. Like there's, like some sects of the Republican Party that kind of act that way. People who claim they're alt-right. I feel the vibe that is starting to happen though. That's the thing though. This is the first time where it feels like it can all kind of convert, like the KKK, the white supremacists, these alt-right people, and some sects of Republicans can really all merge soon and make a second wave of, almost civil rights in America. Because I don't think this is ever going to, like, all this current political drama is going to lead into a second civil war. It's not.
No, it's not. It's not.
People are being over dramatic with it.
But I do think for whatever reasons, there's a resurgence. Mm-hmm. There's a resurgence that's happening right now, and it's getting bolder, and like, people are willing to be involved with it that I guess maybe wouldn't have been before.
Yeah, well, a lot of people weren't real happy that their faces were taken pictures of and they were put on social media, and they lost their jobs when they came to work on Monday.
Yeah, well, you should have thought about that before you went there holding a torch so everybody can see who you are,
And it would have been one thing if those people in Charleston just grouped up and said, you know what, let's leave the statue here. We think it should stay here. There's a lot of reasons why it should be here. But no, they're like, you will not replace us. Like, what kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
Because, like, look, I mean, I feel like for white people to say white lives matters is unnecessary, but I don't think it's as bad as saying you will not replace us. That kind of shit like that. That shit sounds like white supremacist stuff. When groups of white people say white lives matter, I think they're being petty, but I don't think it's as bad as saying some other shit though.
Yeah.
It definitely comes from like a petty kind of almost white supremacist place to feel like you need to go out and say that. But
well, when they talk about they want a white ethno state, it's like, are you fucking shitting me? It's like, what?
Yeah, and then
come on, how would that even happen?
Right, and here's another thing. Like, I don't think people ever really think about too much when it comes to like the white race or any race dying. Is that honestly, as long as there is enough difference between people like there is right now, where there is clearly a difference between just visually,
A white guy and a black guy, and so forth.
There is visually a difference, right? Yeah, obviously. So people will be more attracted to people that are similar to them most times, not always, but most times, just because that's just how you're raised, culture, all that shit. So it'll be a very, very long time before we will stop seeing people that have drastically different skin colors. A very long time. So I don't think any. But then again, there are some white people though that will go like, no, I don't mean just the skin color. I'm talking about European descent, all that kind of shit. But Europeans are just mutts too.
Yeah.
So there's no real definition of what a white person really is. But the way I see it is like, okay, so if you don't have a clear definition of white people, what you're saying is you just want people with white skin to stay around, which that's going to happen. They're going to be around for quite some time. So don't stress.
Well, there's too many white people for them and their descendants to disappear. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with black people. I mean, you're more likely to see Hispanic people to go away first compared to anybody because they already look a lot like white people, and a lot of them are in major. I mean specifically Hispanic people, like people in Mexico and Puerto Rico. A lot of them come to the United States because it's right there. So, and I'm an example of that. I'm a half Puerto Rican person. Both my grandparents came from Puerto Rico, and now their grandchild, only 2 generations down the line, is already basically not Spanish. Like I look Hispanic to a degree. I don't speak a lick of Spanish, and I'm probably going to end up with a white woman just because it's probably what will happen. No guarantee, but I imagine it probably will be so. And then my kids won't learn Spanish, and then pretty much my kids won't have any Spanish parts to them.
Yeah.
So Hispanic people are probably going to like if the trend of like people from Puerto Rico and South America and Mexico keep coming up to the United States, that might happen, but not black people.
Well, I'll tell you what. I live in the Bay Area, and we have like a substantial Asian percentage of the population, and most Asian people I encounter are about as fully assimilated as you can expect anybody to be. It's like, they're not wearing a cone shaped hat, like walking around eating with chopsticks or anything. It's like they're ordinary Americans like anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat hamburgers and they buy Acuras and they play Xbox and they're just ordinary Americans.
Right.
No Xbox, only Nintendo.
Sony, PlayStation. But those are both Japanese people. Most people in California and in the Bay Area are Chinese, though.
Most of them are Chinese, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
although we have everything else too. I mean,
yeah, of course. But like the whole Chinese immigration and the work they all did in that part of the country, their descendants.
Did you know that Minnesota has one of the biggest Asian populations outside of Asia in the States?
I did not.
Yeah.
You have told me that.
Hmong. We have a lot of Hmong.
And those are people from what country?
Laos.
Vietnam,
Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia.
Yeah, in Florida, because we're right next to Mexico and the Caribbean, all that, we see a lot of Hispanic people. Because it's the South, we see a lot of black people. Because it's the South, we see a lot of white people. But Asians, we rarely see in Florida.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Well, there's quite a few Asians in the East Coast, I think. Like, New York has a Chinatown. Hello. I thought we were having an earthquake. It's like, my chair is moving inextricably.
Food.
Yeah. It's like I had preheated the oven before we made this call, and then like it went off and nothing ever happened. I didn't put the food in.
Oh,
so
no.
I don't know. I'd say we probably got ourselves an episode here. What do you think, chaps?
Yeah. It was a fun talk.
All right. Well, if you're still watching Bulletproof Underwear, episode number 233, good for you. Good for you. Now get out of the basement and do something.
I quit jacking it.
My mom says I'm cool.
So I've been your co-host, Yamjuice.
And I've been your co-host, Flex.
And this is Tgizzle.
And yes, we would like to thank Tgizzle, who's got his own podcast, the
Too Soon podcast.
Too Soon podcast, which comes out every single week, and you put it out on what day?
Saturday afternoons.
Saturday
afternoons. Okay, a link will be in the description. All
Yeah.
right, so
if anybody really wants to find it, though, it's if you search Too Soon podcast in like almost any podcast site right now, it does come up. So.
All right. So are you guys on other platforms besides YouTube?
Yeah, we are available on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, as well as our hosting site, Libsyn. And I think that's it.
All right.
So
Cool.
So if you'll send me
plenty.
some links, Giz, to those other sites, they'll get included in the description. Okay, so
sounds good.
you guys know what time it is. Wow, that was
webcam. This would have been a better angle, actually. Shit, should have picked this one.
Wow, that was more acrobatic than usual. I got a little touch of vertigo there.
I did too. I got dizzy.
All right. Well, it looks like there's only one goddamn thing left to do. Take us out, Mr. Flex.
See ya.
I can't find the button. I can't find it.